Namaskar, good evening. You're watching the Newshour at 9 and I'm Swati Joshi. The blot of emergency will forever be a dark chapter in the history of India's thriving democracy. Just yesterday, here on Newshour, we got you the Pew survey, which says 77% Indians feel that democracy is thriving in our nation. In fact, among the world powers, India ranks second when it comes to hailing the tenets of the Constitution. However, the history of Bharat also contains the dark chapter of emergency under Indira Gandhi. The 21-month period from 25th June 1975, where fundamental rights were crushed, citing internal and external threats. Under draconian laws like MISA, Indira's political opponents were arrested and media was shackled with iron bands. Today, ahead of the 49th anniversary of the emergency, the Modi Sarkar has declared that 25th June will be remembered as Samvidhan Hatya Diwas. Prime Minister Modi says this will be to commemorate the contributions of those who endured inhuman pains of emergency. Union Home Minister Amit Shah too said that the day will serve as a reminder of what happens when the Constitution is trampled upon. This comes at a time when Rahul Gandhi is leading the opposition's attack, saying that the BJP is crushing democracy and there is an urgent need to save the Constitution. Today they say that the Modi Sarkar is trying to demolish, to destroy the Constitution, to change the Constitution. They are accusing Prime Minister Modi of imposing an undeclared emergency for 10 long years. Congress also says that people will remember 4th of June 2024 as Modi Mukti Diwas. Listen.
जब जय संविधान के नारों से हमारा संसद इस बार गूंज उठा, अब संविधान हत्या दिवस की बात हो रही है। संविधान हत्या दिवस ये शब्द भारत सरकार की गैजेट नोटिफिकेशन, आप समझिए उनकी नीयत, आप समझिए उनकी मानसिकता जो इस तरह का शब्द ला सकते हैं। अपने विरोधी दल के खाते सील कर विपक्ष के वरिष्ठ नेता को आप उसकी सांसदी छीनकर, उनका घर छीनकर, ये होता है संविधान की हत्या करना। और आप संविधान हत्या दिवस मनाओगे।
तो सरकार चाहती है कि इन मुद्दों से लोगों का ध्यान हटे, इसलिए हेडलाइन मैनेजमेंट के लिए ये नोटिफिकेशन किया है। और जयराम रमेश जी ने बहुत अच्छी बात कही कि 4 जून को देश ने मोदी मुक्ति दिवस का नोटिफिकेशन कर दिया है, इसलिए परेशान होकर के ये सरकार इस तरह की नोटिफिकेशन कर रही है।
आप लोगों ने तो खुद ही संविधान को तहस-नहस करके रख दिया। आपने तो ईडी, आईटी, सीबीआई के माध्यम से संविधान के पन्नों को तार-तार कर दिया। मैं तो आपसे आग्रह करूंगा, शहीद दिवस 30 जनवरी हमारे बापू की हत्या हुई थी, उसको कहिए गांधी हत्या दिवस, स्वीकार करिए। कर पाएंगे?
Well, the BJP, however, says that marking Samvidhan Hatya Diwas will ensure that the Congress will never be allowed to crush our constitution again. Take a look.
25 जून रात को 1975 में जब हमारे संविधान की हत्या की गई थी, वो कभी भी हम नहीं भूल सकते हैं। हमको एक एग्जाम्पल सेट करना है कि भविष्य में कांग्रेस पार्टी ने जैसे संविधान की हत्या की, ऐसा कभी दोबारा ना हो।
गणतंत्र को, डेमोक्रेसी को हत्या करने की खून से लाल हुआ है। इस देश की जनता इसको भूलना नहीं चाहिए। कांग्रेस पार्टी कितने बड़ा गुनाह किया है, देश की भविष्य की पीढ़ी उसको ना भूले, इसीलिए संविधान हत्या दिवस मनाया जाएगा।
But can we forget the tyrannies of emergency by forgetting about it? It may be convenient for the Congress, but in Newshour Fact Check, let's remind you of how across the globe dark and gruesome periods of history are marked in blood. 27 January is International Holocaust Remembrance Day, which marks genocide of millions of European Jews by the Nazis. 23rd August is International Day for remembrance of slave trade and abolition, to remember horrors of slave trade and resolve against it. 25th March is Genocide Day in Bangladesh, which marks massacre of Bangladeshis during the operation of Pakistan that was called Searchlight. Back home, 14th August is marked as Partition Horrors Remembrance Day in India. Now, this brings us to our legitimate question. Can Congress's denial save democracy?
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Let's open this up and go across to our guests. We're joined by R.P. Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP. We have Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author. Tushar Gupta, political analyst, joins us. Tehseen Poonawalla, also a political analyst. Vivek Sellers, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. We also have political analyst Ashutosh with us on the broadcast. Good evening to all of you. I want to begin with you, R.P. Singh ji. Commemoration and all is fine. There's not a problem in that. No problem in reminding the nation and the world also about the dark chapters of our history. But why call it Samvidhan Hatya Diwas?
Well, because the constitution was killed during that period. And then I don't understand. You just now mentioned there's a Holocaust Day, which is there in Germany. There is a Rwanda. In Rwanda, there is another day which is celebrated as a Rwanda Genocide Day. So you remember the day by the what happened during that period.
These days are observed. They are not celebrated. All right.
During that period. Oh, okay, sorry, my apologies. Observed, and then so here the constitution was killed. So we will observe it as Samvidhan Hatya Diwas. So if the judiciary was made to come down, newspapers were all crippled. Every newspaper, there was no newspaper which was publishing what they wanted to publish. I remember the Indian Express published a blank editorial. If more than 1 lakh people from the opposition were jailed and there was no way to understand whether they will come out on bail or they will have to stay in jail. It was for 19 months they were jailed. So what else you name it as when constitution is being killed or constitution is being tempered? So that's the only name we can give.
That's the only name we can give, says RP Singh. What he implies is that constitution was trampled upon. So why not call it Samvidhan Hatya Diwas when people were killed, when they were thrown behind bars, when they had no right to approach the judiciary to challenge what was happening to them, when demolition drives were underway? Was that all as per constitution?
Swati, thank you. Good evening, and thank you for having me on the show. It's a very important debate and a very pertinent one. One, the horrors of the emergency should never be forgotten. In fact, it is martyr Prime Minister Indira Gandhi-ji herself who has apologized for the emergency, and so have every single Congress leader, including Rahul Gandhi-ji, said the emergency is wrong. Congress has officially said it and have promised it will never ever happen again. But why did it take the most honorable Prime Minister and the most honorable Home Minister today to remember this? The reason they remembered this today is because the honorable Prime Minister has come back from a tour of Russia where he's achieved as much as his press conference is zero. NEET is the single biggest issue in our country, as is Agniveer and unemployment. Because they have no answers to the problems of our country, they want to divert issues. Otherwise, I'm asking you, Swati, 10 years the same Prime Minister, the same government, why couldn't you do this for 10 years? Why does it come up randomly today? On a day where Arvind Kejriwal ji gets interim bail, a sitting chief minister, and CBI has arrested him a few days before so he can't get out of jail. Look, what was the emergency? Let your viewers understand. Emergency was, in short, the taking away of Article 21, the mother of all fundamental rights, Article 14, Article 19. And what is Article 21? Life and liberty. What has happened today in our country? Sitting chief ministers in jail, liberty being taken away. In emergency, you were guilty until you proved yourself innocent. That's exactly what's happening today. You are guilty until you prove yourself innocent. By law, they've passed this law in Parliament, by the way, that you're guilty until you prove yourself innocent. Emergency is a provision of the Constitution, a wrong provision, a terrible Constitution, but a constitutional provision used by the Congress for which is apologized. The undeclared emergency that we are facing today, where night after night, night after night, the government of India is glorified and opposition is questioned. Rahul Gandhi is questioned, the opposition is tarnished, people are tarnished. That is the undeclared emergency we are talking about. But I have one suggestion to the government of India, and this is where I'd like to end. I humbly request the government of India to please declare 26th May 2014, the day this government came into being the first day, as Rozgar Hatya Diwas. Because you have no solution to the employment problem, you are now diverting issues.
You're saying that at a time when the RBI has come up with its own report saying we've added more jobs in the market. But let me bring in Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, Tehsin Poonawala says it's been 10 years. Why now? It's been 10 years, yes. Why was the opposition so charged about Samvidhan bachana hai, Loktantra bachana hai during these Lok Sabha elections in all of these 10 years? So if today, the opposition is saying that you're trying to change the constitution and that you are trying to destroy and demolish the constitution, and the government, you can see it as a master stroke, as a political strategy, as a counter, is reminding the same Congress of what they did during emergency.
Good evening, Swati, and good evening to my fellow panelists. First of all, to clear the deck, so as to say, let me remind Tehsin that just yesterday, as you correctly pointed out, a report has come out that said in the last 10 years, 125 million jobs have been created. And in the 10 years before that, 25 million jobs were created. So under the UPA, 2.5 crore jobs. Under the NDA, under Modi, 12.5 crore jobs. That's the truth. Look, now let me come back to this topic, and please, I request the courtesy of a couple of minutes because it's very important, as Tehseen said. Yes, the day the emergency was declared is going to be commemorated as Samvidhan Hatya Diwas, or Constitution's death anniversary. But I object to it because, Swati, not just one day, rather every single day under the Congress rule, be it at the state or center, marks Constitution's death anniversary. Let me explain. When does Constitution die? Constitution dies when a citizen's freedom of speech and expression is brutally curtailed and stomped upon. And that is what Jawaharlal Nehru did through his first amendment to our Constitution. Following which, under him, dozens of books and films were banned, historians and editors were jailed. So I propose Nehru's birth anniversary be marked as our Constitution's death anniversary. When does Constitution die? When the President and the judiciary combined is forced to curtail the fundamental rights of the citizen. And that is what Indira Gandhi did through the emergency. Following which, tens of thousands of Indians were jailed and killed and sterilized, and Constitution's body, soul and preamble altered with gay abandon. So I propose that Indira Gandhi's birth anniversary be marked as our Constitution's death anniversary. Swati, when does Constitution die? When a Supreme Court's considered verdict is overturned with impunity. When the citizen's right to privacy is snatched away. And that is what Rajiv Gandhi did through the Postal Act and through overturning the Shah Bano judgment, ushering in an era of blatant appeasement. So I propose that Rajiv Gandhi's birth anniversary be marked as Constitution's death anniversary. When does Constitution die? When tens of thousands of activists are arrested and charged with sedition and called anti-national. When the election commission is severely compromised, which is what Sonia Gandhi did when under a proxy rule, 8,000 activists were charged with sedition in a single day. When Naveen Chawla, despite the Shah Commission charging him with committing atrocities during the emergency and deeming him unfit for office, was appointed as the chief election commissioner, ignoring the cries of the then CEC that Chawla was spying for the Congress and passing on sensitive confidential information to it. Okay. So I propose that Sonia Gandhi's birth anniversary be marked as Constitution's death anniversary. Just 30 seconds. Finally, when does Constitution die? When the FCRA Act is retrospectively amended, rendering the High Court conviction of political parties like the BJP and the Congress toothless, which is what happened under Rahul Gandhi, when the High Court conviction of Congress was rendered useless through a parliamentary amendment supported by the Congress. So I propose that Rahul Gandhi's birth anniversary be marked as Constitutional death anniversary.
Rahul Gandhi has never been Prime Minister. Kya kar rahe ho, doctor?
Tip of tongue.
We love you, but no, Modi ji is Prime Minister.
Okay, all right.
क्या कर रहे हो आप?
Dr. Ranganathan
मतलब just to attack
has a list. He has a proposal, and so does Akhilesh Yadav, Tushar Gupta. Akhilesh Yadav says मणिपुर में नारी के सम्मान, मान अपमान हत्या दिवस होना चाहिए, हाथरस की बेटी हत्या दिवस होना चाहिए, लखीमपुर में किसान हत्या दिवस, कानपुर देहात में मां बेटी हत्या दिवस. And there's a long list of proposals that the Samajwadi Party chief has also put out on social media. Along with that, I'd like to ask you, Congress says that multiple leaders, including Indira Gandhi, several stalwarts of the Congress, have apologized, have expressed regret for it. Then why is the Modi government now hell-bent on doing this?
Good evening, Swati. They are not hell-bent on doing this. This is a part of history we cannot brush under the carpet. It's that simple. The Congress likes to ask for votes based on the legacy of Prime Minister Nehru, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi. So they want this part of history to be conveniently wiped out from their resume, their political CV. That is not how it works. People are saying that emergency was a part of the Constitution, that the Prime Minister had the right to impose it. Fair enough. Which part of the Constitution allowed for detention of political prisoners indefinitely? Which part of the Constitution allowed for the torture of those political prisoners, starving them for days, beating them up? And this all has been documented post-emergency. Tehseen would agree. Which part of the Constitution mandates that the hostile takeover of newspapers like the Indian Express and Statements be attempted? Which part of the Constitution says that you arrest journalists that do not toe the government line? The problem, Swati, is that Congress is making this about Congress versus the BJP when we must have this day to discuss the mindset of the Congress. I'll give you one interesting parallel. The 2024 Nyay Patra of the Congress has a section on media where they talk about media ownership and how they want to curb monopolies, how they want the media groups to disclose their revenue streams. What business does a political party have in interfering with how a private news network works? This is the mindset that was prevalent in 1975. This is the mindset that is prevalent 50 years later in 2024. That's the problem that no one wants to talk about. If Congress wants to take the legacy of Nehru and Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi and the entire Gandhi family, this is a part of the Congress legacy. It's that simple.
This is part of the legacy and you have been reminded of it. Tehseen Poonawala, please respond to that.
Just two quick issues. I actually conceded what Tushar is saying. Not just I, the Congress is conceding that there were excesses of emergency, which is why Martyr Prime Minister Indira Gandhi to Rahul Gandhi, everybody is apologized for it and they continue to be apologetic about it. But but in our undeclared emergency, a person is incarcerated.
What is the problem with Samvidhan Hatya Diwas?
No, Swati. Well, it's nothing. What is the problem with Rozgar Hatya Diwas? But what is the issue where you actually have today, where the entire edifice, the legal edifice, where you're innocent until proven guilty, has been legally turned around by the Parliament of India without passing through Rajya Sabha as a finance bill, and people are put in jail and not being given bail. When they're about to give bail, another agency arrests them. What is the problem when a man who I don't like, Gautam Navlakha, is arrested for and accused of killing none other than our Honorable Prime Minister, and then the NIA, after years in jail, withdraws the charges and said, no, that was planted evidence. Is this constitutional? If Article 21, Article 19, Article 14 were wrongfully taken away during the emergency, you're right about it. Today it's been taken away in an undeclared.
This is undeclared emergency. That is the problem. This is undeclared emergency. Quick rebuttal. Tushar Gupta, then Dr. Raghunathan.
You like to sort of keep bringing in Arvind Kejriwal's arrest in this whole issue and make it some sort of an undeclared emergency. Which was the party that filed the case and the complaint against Arvind Kejriwal? The press release is still on the Congress's website even today.
They did it.
Just because you wanted to have an alliance of political candidates to go and ally with Arvind Kejriwal. I'll give you a parallel. Tehseen, I'll give you a parallel.
File the complaint, nothing happened, release the man. Did the Congress say CBI arrested him?
Hold on, I'll give you a parallel. During the emergency, people like Rajnath Singh were not allowed to perform the final rites of their mother.
That's true.
In 2024, Arvind Kejriwal, from the same legal edifice you criticized, got a 21-day exemption and exception where the court said this is not a judgment on the merits of the case or Arvind Kejriwal's involvement in the case. This is just a 21-day break for him to go and campaign for the Lok Sabha elections. How can you even compare 1975 and 2024?
You are actually right on this, but in 2019-20, Father Stan didn't get a sipper on charges that haven't been proved. Gautam Navlakha spent years in jail on the charges of assassinating a Prime Minister which have been withdrawn. What about that? I feel for Rajnath Singh. What happened to him was wrong. Is Father Stan not an Indian citizen? Is Gautam Navlakha not an Indian citizen? I don't like them.
One second. So when Mulayam Singh Yadav said इनसे थोड़ा सा डर के रहना चाहिए, इनसे बच के रहना चाहिए क्योंकि ये तो एजेंसी भिजवा देते हैं. Was that undeclared emergency during the Congress party's regime? Also, let me quickly remind everyone on what Lalu Yadav has said. Lalu Yadav said on emergency, yes, let's all pledge to fight for freedom and to ensure that no one can shred the constitution, misuse it to bludgeon the opposition. 1975 can never and should never be repeated, but let's also not forget who's in power in 2024 and who refuses to respect the opposition. Words are different, but the intent is the same. He also means to say the same thing, that the constitution was trampled upon in the emergency era. So how different is the INDI ally from what the BJP is saying today?
Swati, I wish that nobody disturbs when I'm speaking because I didn't disturb anybody. Three things I want to say. First of all, what a brilliant self-goal by the Modi government. It's a brilliant self-goal. And it is proved beyond doubt that this time BJP got 60 seats less in this election because there was a very serious campaign and the BJP government led by Narendra Modi has shown the inclination to change the constitution, and that is one reason that Dalits in UP and other areas, they did not vote for the BJP. And I was thinking that once the verdict is done, BJP would like to change the narrative and would not like to go back to the state constitution or the changed constitution narrative. Now, please understand this, that the people do not vote for the past. People vote for the present to make their future. I wish whatever the Jawaharlal Nehru has done, what Indira Gandhi has done, what Rajiv Gandhi has done, what Sonia Gandhi has done, people have given their verdict, punished them if they deserve it. Now, every word which has been said by Anand Ranganathan, just remove the word Jawaharlal Nehru, just remove the word Indira Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, and people will think this is what is happening today under the Modi regime. If the thousands are sent to the jail by Jawaharlal Nehru, then the similar number of people are being sent today. If there was a declared emergency by Mrs. Indira Gandhi, then there is today the undeclared
No, 1 second.
emergency.
You talk about the opposition's campaign. 1 second. You talk about the opposition's campaign and you talk about the intention to change the constitution. Ashutosh ji, this question is to you only. Now let me tell you what happened during emergency. 1 second. 38 to 42nd amendments were passed during the emergency. What does the 42nd amendment say? The 42nd amendment gave unrestrained powers to Parliament to change the constitution and invalidated the Supreme Court ruling in the Keshwanand Bharti case that the government couldn't change the basic structure of the constitution. Who really intended to change the constitution?
Swati, not fair when Anand Ranganathan is...
No, this follow-up question is to you.
No.
It is
Let
to
me
you.
complete my argument. Let me complete my argument. Then you can ask several questions. I'm here. Whatever Mrs. Gandhi did, nobody can endorse that. And the people of India in 1977 has punished the Empress of India who brought such misfortune to this country. But the same Mrs. Gandhi was given thumping majority in 1980, 1985, and that proved the point that the people have pardoned her and her government and by her son. That issue is dead. If you're flogging a dead horse, this will not lead any. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Today, Rahul Gandhi has got under the skin of Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. And that's why on 25th June 2024 was not observed as a Samvidhan Hatya Diwas. But after 2 weeks, it was a golden opportunity because Rahul Gandhi speech has certainly unsettled, disintegrated the BJP establishment and they do not know how to react.
Okay, 1 second. Disintegrated BJP establishment. 1 second. Dr. Ranganathan wants to come. Dr. Ranganathan, after emergency as well, thumping majority for Indira Gandhi for the Congress governments. And is this in 2024 a punishment for the Modi government? What has happened? The mandate, the people's verdict?
I'm sorry to say, Ashutosh is a very good friend of mine, लेकिन इतना ज़्यादा irrational और illogic किया है. Swati, you have to give me a couple of minutes to rebut each and every of his falsehoods and lies. Please, I beg of you. Number one, if according to Ashutosh, what he says very disingenuously, saying that this is a dead horse, don't flog it, it's over, people, does he mean to say we should not remember Holocaust anymore? Does he mean to say we must not remember Armenian genocide anymore? What kind of logic is this? People remember this so that these things are not repeated again. It is not a question of us forgetting it. We must never forget it. Number two, when he's saying people brought her back with a thumping majority, तो ये खुद ही कह रहे हैं कि मोदी ने इनके लॉजिक से कोई गलत काम ही नहीं किया क्योंकि मोदी this third time has been elected as a prime minister. ये इनका लॉजिक है. Number three, when he is talking about the constitution change कर देंगे, अरे भाई constitution change होना चाहिए, first amendment जानी चाहिए. Or are you a sham lover of democracy? Are you for curtailing freedom of speech and expression? Shame on you if you support the First Amendment. And shame on you if you support the trampling and changing of the preamble during the emergency. Those two words, secular and socialist, were inserted by Indira Gandhi during the emergency. Are you still for it? Constitution should be changed. I'm appalled, and finally you must give me 20 seconds because this falsehood by my good friend Tehseen has to be corrected. Swati, I beg of you only 30 seconds.
Okay, 30 seconds. Okay.
Thank you.
Since you are responding to me, I should be given a chance to respond.
Okay, I will come to you. And Vivek ji hasn't even spoken. He's not even complaining.
No.
Dr. Ranganathan.
I should.
I know. Thank you. Now, by the looks of it, Tehseen, my wonderful brother, I think महाकाल की कृपा है. इनकी रिश्त से मुझे लग रहा है इन पे महाकाल की कृपा है. लेकिन मुझ पे भी महाकाल की कृपा है. ये दो एथीस की लड़ाई हो रही है जो महाकाल के भक्त हैं. तहसीन इतना झूठ मत बोलो. When you talk about being guilty until proved innocent, those are the provisions that the Supreme Court itself has ratified. Are you going to say on live television that Supreme Court is compromised? महाकाल की सौगंध है तुम्हें. सच बोलो. Is Supreme Court compromised or not?
First, I want to bring in Vivek Sellers and then you can come. The logic that I don't understand, Dr. Ranganathan, I want to pose that question to Vivek Sellers. Everybody is accepting, yes, this happened in the past. Yes, what happened was a mistake. Yes, excessive powers were used. Everything was that happened in emergency. Nobody is justifying that. You're admitting everything. And people who are part of the INDI bloc have taken that stated position. But yet today, you're equating that to the people's mandate and calling it a moral defeat and saying कि ये मोदी मुक्ति दिवस है. कैसे मोदी मुक्ति दिवस हो गया? Moral defeat हो गया 240 लाकर और moral victory हो गया कांग्रेस का 99 लाकर.
First of all, I would like to say and remind the viewers कि आपको जो करना है आप करिए. आपको अगर लगता है संविधान हत्या दिवस है तो let it carry on. But let me tell you a bitter truth. It's not going to have any effect on the people of the country. Not at all. It's not going to affect at all. Because the youth has nothing to do with this. The farmers have nothing to do with it.
Then why
developing India has nothing to do with it.
संविधान को बचाना है और लोकतंत्र को बचाना है during your Lok Sabha campaign, and why is the Congress party, working on this strategy for the upcoming assembly elections?
Why are you forgetting and why are you being biased? It's the 4 Bharatiya Janata Party MPs who said कि हमको 400 सीट इसलिए चाहिए because we have to change the constitution. That is what the Bharatiya Janata Party and their candidate said. Why did the Bharatiya Janata Party did not, just chuck them out or cancel their nominations? No, because they wanted it. People are more, the youth of the country, you were talking about employment. We have seen a hotel in Gujarat where tens of thousands of students were there just to get a job of 20,000 rupees. The youth are interested in what is happening in the paper leaks. We are seeing terrorism, how it was in Jammu and Kashmir, now it has come down to Jammu. We have seen encroachment of the Chinese on our border. We have seen unemployment. We are seeing inflation. We are seeing corruption in Uttar Pradesh government, which the BJP, the ministers, their MLAs, their Jila Panchayat chairmen, everyone is complaining what is happening in Uttar Pradesh.
Vivek ji, on the issue of employment, you are rejecting the RBI report. On the issue of need, you don't want to talk about the investigation which is underway. You don't want to talk about the fact that it was addressed in the parliament. On the issue of corruption, when action is taken against those who are in the opposition, you say agencies are being used. But you're talking about corruption in Uttar Pradesh. But that should also be investigated. That should also be investigated. If that has happened, that should also be investigated. That should also be investigated. But RP Singh, RP Singh should come in now. RP Singh ji, the allegation is, okay, one second. RP Singh ji, the allegation is there are a lot of burning issues. 1 second. अब जवाब तो लीजिए ना, आपको जवाब चाहिए.
आपकी सरकार के 10
अरे हमने 10 बना दिया. आपने
जवाब चाहिए ना, जवाब आपको चाहिए.
आपको 10 बनाए सरकार ने.
तुषार 1 second. तुषार 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Calm down. RP Singh ji, you have a BJP spokesperson. Why are you talking with Tushar? RP Singh ji, there are a lot of burning issues. 1 second. Vivek ji, relax. Tushar Gupta, relax. 1 second. Okay, no personal attacks. No name calling. No name calling, please. No name calling. No name calling. Relax. You have a BJP spokesperson, RP Singh ji. There are burning issues that the BJP does not want to answer, does not want people to take note of. You want to divert attention from the real issues, and that's why, what you're doing is nothing but headline grabbing exercise. Respond.
Swati, when they speak about saving constitution, संविधान बचाने की जब ये बात करते हैं, संविधान की कॉपी लेकर ये पार्लियामेंट में आते हैं, जगह जगह अपने लेक्चर में भाषण में देते हैं, then it's okay. But when we talk about saving the constitution and then observing a day of Samvidhan Hatya Diwas, they create noise on that. They raise an issue on that. Fact is, अगर संविधान नहीं बचेगा तो कोई इशू नहीं बचेगा साहब. हमने वो पीरियड देखा है जब संविधान नहीं था, संविधान को इन्होंने दरकरार कर दिया था और सुप्रीम कोर्ट, हाई कोर्ट, मीडिया, individual rights, opposition, everything was locked. So we should remember that because of Samvidhan, because of constitution, they are able to come and debate on your channel. They call Prime Minister by names. एक बार नहीं 100 बार they कहते हैं प्रधानमंत्री मर गया है, प्रधानमंत्री मोया, I mean all that sort of language they use only because they have the freedom.
No, but their allegation is that the BJP is spooked. Their allegation is that the BJP is spooked because the performance of the INDI bloc today talks a great deal about, how people have accepted what they said during their Lok Sabha campaign, which is that they want to save democracy, that they want to save Samvidhan. That is something that has touched people, and that's why you see improved performance of India, and BJP is spooked by that. That's their allegation.
Can I please?
No, it is for us.
No, then they should support it. But it is then, as per them, we are as per them, we are furthering their cause. What they are propagating, they should support it. They should, yes, कि संविधान मारा गया था, संविधान की हत्या की गई थी, and they never apologize. I mean, what is the apology? Even that you rectify yourself.
Okay, one by one. First Ashutosh, then Tushar Gupta, then Dr. Ranganathan. Ashutosh.
Swati, I believe that I will be given the privilege of speaking uninterrupted because I know Anand Ranganathan is running. See, the fact of the matter is that I am very glad to hear R.P. Singh, Tushar Gupta and Anand Ranganathan. You know why? Because these were the people when the Constitution was adopted on 26 January 1950, they said, इसमें तो कुछ भी भारतीय नहीं है, इसको भारत की जनता स्वीकार नहीं करेगी. Now you are forced to accept it. That shows the Constitution has made you realize that it is good to be democratic. Point number 2, you're talking about emergency. You're talking about emergency. So let's R.P. Singh and then Narendra Modi should tell to the world whether RSS agrees with him or not. Because I have a letter written on 12 January 1976 where the RSS Pramukh Devras, Bala Sahab Devras, writing to Binoba Bhave, telling, and I read in Hindi, and please don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. मेरी आपसे प्रार्थना है कि आप प्रधानमंत्री की संघ के विषय में जो गलत धारणा है उसे दूर करने का प्रयास करें. उसके फलस्वरूप संघ के स्वयंसेवक कारागृह से मुक्त हों और आज देश में जो सभी क्षेत्रों में उन्नति की योजनाएं प्रधानमंत्री के नेतृत्व में चल रही हैं, उसमें संघ और संघ के सेवक भी अपना योगदान दे सके. This means Devras is talking profusely appreciating, praising Mrs. Indira Gandhi that what good she has brought to this country, and RSS wanted to participate. What a shame! Can R.P. Singh condemn that?
Okay.
Can Anand Ranganathan condemn that?
Can we take a response now?
Mohan RSS chief Devras is praising profusely.
Can we take a response?
Letters to Mrs. Gandhi.
Can I please come in now? Can I please?
Okay. No, Tushar Gupta, then Dr. Ranganathan. Okay, Ashutosh, you asked a question. He's responding. Why did RSS write a congratulatory message to a letter to Indira Gandhi?
That the RSS should answer. But if Jairam Ramesh, and I just saw his tweet, is saying that June 4 should be Modi Mukti Diwas, then for 40 years this country has been celebrating Congress Mukti Diwas, because the last time Congress got 240 plus seats was 1984. But Swati, since Ashutosh has quoted a letter from the times of the emergency, I also want to quote something from the reports that was put together by the Lok Sangharsh Committee from the various states about the torture of the prisoners who were arrested indefinitely without any legal aid. You know what the torture was like? Stamping on their bare body with heeled ammunition boots, severe beating on the soles of the feet, rolling of heavy police lathis on the bone of their legs, making the victim crouch for hours in a Z position, beating on the spine, slapping them on both ears until they lost consciousness, inserting electric live wires in the crevices of the body, stripping the body naked and making satyagrahis lie on the slabs of ice. This was the torture political prisoners went through. That has been documented in the books that have been written about those times. That has been documented by the newspapers that were published in those times. And let me tell you one channel that Ashutosh is quite frequent on. In 1977, May 15th, they ran a cover story with the title Torture, discussing all of this, that this was going on during the emergency with the political prisoners. So my dear friend Tehseen, when you compare 75 and 24, look at how the prisoners were treated then. Is there an apology from the Congress? No, because this all has been brushed under the carpet through various books that have been hidden away from public memory. This is what we need to discuss. This is what the youth of this nation needs to know, that this is a burning the skin with cigarettes or wax candles. This was torture. Denying food, water and sleep and making the victim drink his own urine. All this has been documented. Suspending him in the air from his wrist tied to his back. They used to call it the aeroplane position. This was the torture going on, and I want the country to discuss it.
Okay.
It's not about blaming anyone. Rahul Gandhi has nothing to do with the emergency as a leader, but the Congress party has. It's the mindset of those times that we need to discuss.
There's a quick rebuttal coming in from Ashutosh before Dr. Ranganathan says I am biased and not allowing him to speak. Quick rebuttal.
Karti, I'm glad that Tushar brought out this. I'm really thankful to him. Because RSS wanted to participate in this instrument of torture. And RSS wanted Mrs. Gandhi to help in this torture. And if Tushar and
if RSS wanted to help, why would the political prisoners that were also members of the RSS behind bars, what cook-up stories?
Does that congratulatory letter mean that RSS appreciated and endorsed what Indira Gandhi did? Dr. Ranganathan.
RSS ke log jail mein kare, RSS madad kar rahe the.
Can I please come in?
Dr. Ranganathan.
I've been waiting. You know, can you please mute Ashutosh? Yes. The problem with people like...
No, one second. Let Dr. Ranganathan respond.
आशुतोष से मेरा रिश्ता
सर आपने ऑलरेडी एक लेटर पढ़ लिया है, उनको भी अपनी बात रखने दीजिए ना प्लीज. गो अहेड.
पता नहीं क्या एकदम जैसे क्या रिश्ता है मेरी समझ में नहीं आ रहा. बार बार मेरा नाम क्यों ले रहे हो आशुतोष? रिलैक्स, आई एम गोइंग टू आंसर यू नाउ. बी क्वाइट. Problem with people like now, Swati, we can't continue.
No, 1 second, Ashutosh, please allow him to speak, Ashutosh ji.
मतलब I am replying him.
Please, Ashutosh ji.
फिर भी बंद कर रहे हो क्योंकि डर लग रहा है इन्हें.
No, he is responding now, Ashutosh ji, please.
इनको डर लग रहा है.
Ashutosh ji, please.
You know, this is
बोलने दीजिए. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, problem with people like...
Again, Ashutosh ji, please now, come on, you were given your chance. Now, you've asked multiple questions. Let somebody respond to them.
प्रॉब्लम बिकाऊ जर्नलिस्ट से स्वाति ये होती है, वो सोचते हैं बाकी सारे लोग बिकाऊ. इनको लगता है ना स्वाति.
Okay, all right. Let him respond. It's his turn to respond, Ashutosh ji. Please, let him respond.
Swati, shall I please tell me when is Times Now anniversary? I will gift a
One second. I'm not able to hear what you're saying, Ashutosh. I'm not able to hear what you're saying. 1 second. Let him respond and come back to you. Dr. Ranganathan.
He knows exactly why he's interrupting me, because he won't like what I'm going to say. Problem with people like Ashutosh is that now, Swati, how can
Ashutosh ji, you asked me to not interrupt you. I gave you your time. You asked multiple questions. Now let him respond. How would the viewers otherwise know the response of the other side to the questions you asked, sir? Please.
Look at the fear and trembling. This guy was supposedly a journalist. He was in cahoots with a political party. He joined that political party. He thinks everyone is like him. No. Now let me come to this point.
Swati, 1 second, please. 1 second. You know, I'm not able to hear anybody. Neither Ashutosh nor Dr. Ranganathan. 1 second. No name calling, please. Please, no name calling. Let's not. No. 1 second. Let's stay on track on the debate. Dr. Ranganathan. Does the RSS writing a congratulatory letter to Indira Gandhi mean that they were endorsing what was being done?
Can I please answer? Can you please mute him like his career?
Go ahead,
please,
Dr. Ranganathan.
Because I need to answer. Thank you.
Okay, 1 second. First of all, no personal attacks, no name calling. 1 second, please. Dr. Ranganathan, respond. Ashutosh ji, 1 second, please. Let him respond. The debate will get derailed. It's a serious issue. Let the viewers please listen to the other side. Go ahead.
The only good thing AAP ever did was to kick Ashutosh. No, but now let me answer him directly.
Please, let's not get personal, Dr. Ranganathan. This way you will not be able to make your point at the debate. The entire debate will be derailed. The debate will be derailed. There's no need to take personal jibes. No need to take personal jibes, please.
I am answering the question.
Okay, go ahead.
I am answering the question.
He's answering the questions. He's answering the questions. No personal jibes. Are very clear. Go ahead.
Swati, I'm enjoying this because please mute him so that I'll be able to answer him without interrupting. Please mute him. Yes. Now, that letter that Ashutosh quoted with so much fanfare, I absolutely, he feels that everyone is like him. No, I absolutely condemn that line where the RSS chief says that all good things are happening during emergency. I totally condemn it. Totally condemn it. Understood? Have you got the answer now? Now tell me the answer. Why is Ashutosh so subservient to Congress and AAP that he will not condemn the emergency, that he will not condemn? Look at his nervous laughter out here. That while doing journalism, he sold himself.
No, Dr. Ranganathan. Dr. Ranganathan, no. Please, Dr. Ranganathan, no. No personal jibes. You know, I'm anyways running out of time. Ashutosh, if you found... 1 second, Ashutosh. Ashutosh, if something... 1 second. In all this fighting and bickering, I couldn't hear, but Ashutosh, if personal jibes were taken at you, I absolutely condemn it. If that's what you were asking me to do. I couldn't hear you earlier. You know, the viewers have heard both sides. The viewers have heard both sides. Decide for yourself who's demolishing, destroying Constitution and who really is saving the Constitution. Thank you very much, gentlemen. In fact, RP Singh, Dr. Ranganathan will stay on with us for debate number 2 as well.